So ANDREA BARGNANI was a decent, although not spectacular NBA player, but he does pretty much sum up the worst era in New York Knicks history with his terrible spell with the Knicks. But where is he now? First of all, I'm going to recap his known career. He began playing basketball professionally in 2002 in the Italian Serie B2 and averaged 13.2 points. In 2006, he was named the EuroLeague's Rising Star, which was an award given to the best EuroLeague player under 22 years old. He was drafted number 1 2006 NBA draft and is honestly considered to be a massive bust. While I do agree that he's one of the worst number 1 picks of all time, I wouldn't really call him a bust. And even though LaMarcus Aldridge was number 2 pick and Brandon Roy was number 6, the number 3 pick in that draft was Adam Morrison. The number 4 pick, Tyrese Thomas. The number 5 pick, Sheldon Williams. The number 9 pick, Patrick O'Bryant. The number 10 pick, Mohamed Sene. The number 12 pick, Hilton Armstrong. So while definitely an argument can be made that he's one of the worst number 1 picks of all time, that it's hard to put anyone from that draft on the biggest bust list because apart from a couple, it was a poor draft. A lot of good talent towards the end of it, but not that top heavy. In his first season in the NBA, he averaged 11.6 points per game and was actually second in the Rookie of the Year voting to Brandon Roy. That was the year the Toronto Raptors made the playoffs, so he was a solid contributor on a playoff team from the get-go. In the 2009-2010 season, the Raptors almost made the playoffs and he averaged 17.2 points, shooting 47% from the field and nearly 38% from 3. And in 2010-2011, although the Raptors were poor, the year after Chris Bosh left, he bumped up his scoring average to 21.4 points, while shooting 35% from 3 and 45% from the field. One of his big weaknesses was his rebounding and never actually averaged over 6.3 rebounds per game. In the 2011-12 season, he averaged 19.5 points per game, but it was the next season that his career really took a downturn. He was injured for a lot of the 2012-2013 season and averaged only 13.3 points per game, and was then traded from the Toronto Raptors to the New York Knicks in exchange for Steve Novak, Marcus Camby and Quentin Richardson, and the 2016 first-round pick, which, because of the Melo trade before that, gave them the right to swap pick with Denver. That pick ended up being Jakob Poeltl. His first season in New York wasn't that bad statistically, where he averaged 13.3 points per game, but the Knicks were very poor. The next year, he was part of the worst Knicks team in NBA history, playing only 29 games and averaging 14.8 points per game. In July 2015, he signed with the Brooklyn Nets. He got 17 points and 7 rebounds in the first game of that season, and ended up playing 46 games, averaging 6.6 points per game, before being waived in February 2016. ANDREA BARGNANI could always put the ball in the basket. His overall game was lacking, so he was only an average at best NBA player, but he was an above average scorer for his prime, and as soon as the scoring dipped, the rest of his flaws became even more noticeable. But where is he now? On July 2016, 4 months after being waived from the Nets, he returned to Europe and signed a 2-year deal with Spanish club Baskonia. On October 14, 2016, in the first EuroLeague game of the season, he scored a season-best 26 points in an 85-84 win. On the 26th of April 2017, Baskonia parted ways with Bargnani after he was plagued with injuries. In 15 EuroLeague games, he only averaged 8.8 points per game, and in 14 ACB games, he averaged 11.5 points per game. Since then, he has yet to find a club. It doesn't appear that he's retired, but no team has signed him since he left Baskonia at the end of last season. So more than likely, we'll see ANDREA BARGNANI probably going back to Italy and playing in one of the lower leagues, maybe some stage this season. Otherwise, I can see him packing it in and retiring at the end of this season. So ANDREA BARGNANI was honestly one of the better offensive players in the NBA in his peak with the Toronto Raptors. I definitely wouldn't consider him to be one of the biggest busts of all time, but an argument can definitely be made that he's been one of the worst number 1 picks of all time. The fact that he was a solid contributor to multiple playoffs teams and also averaged 21.4 points while being a stretch big in today's game is quite good. It's just a pity that injuries plagued the latter part of his career, and as soon as his offense began to suffer even slightly, his massive flaws with defense and rebounding were made look 10 times worse, because the one thing he did exceptionally well, he stopped doing well, which pretty much killed his NBA career because he couldn't even play that many minutes for the Brooklyn Nets in 2015-16, which was a bad year for the Nets. So anyway, that's the video. That is where ANDREA BARGNANI is now, currently not playing basketball. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.